Are you thinking about moving to Louisville, Kentucky? Well, before you pack your bags, there are a couple of things that you're going to want to know. In today's video, I'm going to tell you the top 5 things that you absolutely must know before you move to Louisville, Kentucky. I'm Katie Skeen, a local realtor here in Louisville, Kentucky, and let's jump right into it. Louisville has a diverse economy with lots of job opportunities in healthcare, logistics, and manufacturing. Our top employers would include UPS, GE, Ford Motor Company, Humana, Norton Healthcare, and University of Louisville. If we take a look at our unemployment rate, we see that as of June of 2024, the unemployment rate in Louisville, Kentucky was 4.4%. Now, this has decreased quite a bit from its peak in 2010 of 11.2%. Now, of course, the unemployment rate varies across the city depending on what location you're in. And the good news is that we have continued to see steady job growth and opportunities within our Louisville area over the last 5 years. In 2020, the Louisville metro area added 14,000 jobs. In September of 2022, they had added an additional 9,200 jobs. And last year, we were expected to add a total of 8,000 jobs into our job market here in Louisville. It is interesting to note that our salaries tend to be competitive with those similar sized cities compared to us, but we do have a lower cost of living in comparison to many other places in the United States. Louisville strikes that great balance between wages and cost of living. Speaking of cost of living, let's talk about cost of living and housing for the Louisville, Kentucky area. Payscale.com has this really helpful cost of living chart, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. If we see here the cost of living in Louisville, Kentucky by expense category. Now, if we look at overall cost of living, you will see that we are negative 5% below the national average. Housing costs are 19% below the national average, utilities 15% below. It looks like groceries are right at the national average. This scale is saying that transportation is negative 4%. I have seen actually on several other cost of living calculators that the transportation costs in the state of Kentucky can actually be higher because of some of our transportation taxes. Now, I help a lot of clients relocate to this area, and one of the things that they're always commenting to me about is the median sales price of a home. They feel like you can get more for your money for the real estate here in Kentucky. Let's take a look at exactly what that is here in March of 2025. When we look at all of the homes that are for sale today in Jefferson County, there are a total of 880 single-family homes listed for sale in Jefferson County as of today's date. The median list price for these homes is $299,450. Up next, I'm going to tell you some really important information about our local Louisville neighborhoods. But before we do that, I wanted to tell you how much I really enjoy making these videos for you all. But what I enjoy even more than making these videos is actually helping viewers just like you relocate or move within the Louisville, Kentucky area. I remember what it was like for me to relocate here over 13 years ago, and it felt totally overwhelming. So to be able to have a resource like this channel to get information that you need about moving to Louisville, I think hopefully it's just helpful to you. I also wanted to offer up to you, I have a free relocation roadmap that you can actually download. The link is in the description of this video. The relocation roadmap is completely free. It breaks down this stressful process of relocating to Louisville, Kentucky in a simple step-by-step process. I made it to help you to make this transition of relocating less stressful and less overwhelming. So please go ahead and take a minute and download that relocation roadmap. Don't hesitate to reach out with any questions. My desire is truly to help make your relocation process as simple and as seamless as we possibly can. Let's talk about some of the diversity that we see in some of our Louisville, Kentucky neighborhoods. Now, we have so many wonderful neighborhoods. I'm just going to mention 3 to you to kind of highlight how different they are. If you're interested in a deep dive to any of our neighborhoods, be sure to check out my neighborhood playlist where I actually get you in the car, get you on the map, get you a tour of some of these neighborhoods. The first neighborhood that I want to mention to you in this video is Old Louisville. Old Louisville is located near downtown, kind of sandwiched in between downtown and University of Louisville, and it is well known because it is one of the largest contiguous collections of Victorian mansions that we have in the United States. I absolutely think this area is completely charming and magical. The homes are historic and beautiful. A lot of them have been renovated and restored. They have these beautiful walking courts in that neighborhood. So some of these houses actually are not located on a street where you can drive up to the front door, but you walk on these beautiful walking courts to actually get into these homes in Old Louisville. So if you love historic charm, that's absolutely a neighborhood that you're going to want to check out. If you're looking for something a little bit more centrally located, you might want to check out one of our areas called St. Matthews. Now, St. Matthews, we don't really have suburbs in Louisville per se, but St. Matthews is one of our favorite suburbs, if you want to call it that. It is a home rule class city. It has a really convenient and central location within our Waterston Expressway. You're not going to get a huge house for your money, but what people love so much about St. Matthews is the location, the charm of these historic houses. They're not going to be as old as the homes in Old Louisville, but a lot of the homes in St. Matthews were built in the 40s and 50s. A lot of charming Cape Cod architecture in that area, and people really enjoy the community and lifestyle that St. Matthews offers to their residents. And then lastly, a neighborhood I want to highlight to you is Norton Commons. Now, this is a planned development. It's further outside of the city. It is one of those neighborhoods that is all centered around community events and community atmosphere. So you're not going to have very large lots in this community, but there's a lot of central community parks and playgrounds and places to congregate. There's a lot of little shops. A lot of people have golf carts that they're driving around this neighborhood. It's all centered around community and building this community atmosphere. Lots of low maintenance on the yard work because you don't have very big yards in that neighborhood. So that is completely different. These are mostly newer construction homes that either currently built or built within the last 10, 15 years. So if you're interested in that newer type community and development, Norton Commons is one that you'll want to check out. Next, let's talk about the weather. The thing that I want you to know about the weather is that it changes its mind all of the time. Just a few weeks ago, we were having flash flooding at night. It was on a Saturday night. I went to bed and actually there was flash flooding right out in front of my house. The road was completely covered in water. It was coming up actually into my yard, which was a little bit concerning. And the next morning, I woke up on Sunday morning and the entire neighborhood and streets were completely covered in 3 inches of snow. So it is just the strangest weather sometimes here. We've had a very strange winter here in Louisville. We've had some historic winter storms that we haven't seen even in the 13 years that I have lived here. So more snow this winter than I've ever seen before. Outside of this really strange winter that we've had, we are typically known for our flash flooding and our tornadoes, which typically happen in the spring season. I love this real estate attorney who shared with me in a class one time that he feels there are 2 kinds of basements in Louisville. There are the ones who have already leaked and it's disclosed that this basement leaks, and then there are the basements that have not leaked yet. So it is very common for us, with the amount of flash flooding that we get, for people to get water in their basements. We see a lot of solutions with basement waterproofing. It doesn't have to be a scary thing, but it is something we're always going to check the disclosure for, and it is something that you need to be aware of living in Louisville, that we do have a lot of flash flooding events, and so you need to be prepared for that in your home with basement waterproofing systems and making sure the grading is going away from your house, making sure your gutters are clean. All of that kind of stuff is really important here in this Louisville, Kentucky area. Now, as crazy as the weather sounds, we do have 4 distinct seasons here in Louisville, which is something that I absolutely love. I think there's something so energizing and encouraging and refreshing about watching the season change from winter to spring, summer, and fall. The 2 most beautiful times in Louisville are in the spring, when everything is coming back to life after this dormant winter, and then in the fall when all of those leaves are dying and starting to fall. I think it's just a really magical time to be here in the city. Some of our neighborhoods with these beautiful mature trees just turn absolutely gorgeous during these seasons. Before we talk about schools, I wanted to pause and take a minute to say, if you're thinking about relocating to or moving within the Louisville, Kentucky area, I really want you to take a moment and reach out to me. I'm going to put my contact information here on the screen. Give me a call, a text, an email, or set up a Zoom invite, because I have people just like you reaching out every single day who are trying to figure out how to relocate within the Louisville, Kentucky area. I'm here to help. My desire is to get you informed and find you the right fit for you as far as neighborhood and home. So please do take the time to reach out, and I look forward to hearing from you. The next thing that I want to share with you that's absolutely essential that you know is about the school system. When it comes to our schools here in Louisville, Kentucky, you're going to hear a lot of mixed reviews and a lot of horror stories. I want to clear that up for you right now. If you live within the Louisville city limits, you are actually in Jefferson County, and you will have access to the Jefferson County public school system. Let's take a look at niche.com to get us more information about how Jefferson County public schools are ranked within our state. Niche gives JCPS an overall rating of a B. They have a B- in academics and teachers, a B+ for clubs and activities, an A+ for diversity, B+ for college prep, and a B- for the administration. Within the state of Kentucky, we are ranked 49th out of 159 school districts. You will also see that we are ranked number 3 out of 159 for the most school district in the state of Kentucky. Now, before you freak out about these ratings, I wish that we would be more highly rated academically. I would really like to see that. But with that being said, JCPS has so many options and programs, and the test scores don't always tell the full story. So if you're considering going to JCPS, you're really going to want to get into the schools and meet the administrators, meet the teachers, talk to parents to see what exactly you're getting yourself into. Of course, it's important to look at those test ratings as well. And what they've highlighted here on niche.com is that we are ranked higher in diversity. And I think that's a really unique and special thing about our school system, is that so many of the schools are truly very diverse, that these students have an opportunity to go to school and grow up around people who aren't exactly like them. JCPS also has quite a few successful magnet programs in the traditional program. So you're going to want to check out with this large school system all of your various options. To me, that's a big pro of it, that yes, there are schools that aren't as highly rated that you might not choose, but there are so many options. That's the great thing. If you don't like it, choose a different option. And then, of course, if the public school system is not working for you, we have so many private schools. We have a very robust private Catholic school system. I will say we have a very large population of Catholic people in Louisville, so many people are turning to the Catholic school system for their education, and there are a lot of elementary and middle school options and some really great high school options as well. Lastly, there's so many other great private schools, including Montessori type schools, Christian education, classical education. So really, there's so many different options depending on what would be the best fit for your family. I hope you've enjoyed this video about the 5 things you need to know about moving to Louisville, Kentucky. If you're interested in more information about moving to Kentucky, again, here's my contact information. Do not hesitate to reach out. I am here to help you. You can also check out my other video, The Pros and Cons of Living in Louisville, Kentucky 2025. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.